All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about how to make him instantly thirsty for you, how to keep him wanting more, and how to make it stay that way. So, yesterday, I had a question from a person on my video that I did yesterday with you guys. By the way, this is my podcast on the art of soulful seduction, where I'm teaching you guys how to go from, the egoic desires that you want, where it's like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want love, I want to manifest my specific person, I want them to be crazy about me, obsessed with me. And I'm actually taking you through like the manifesting teachings on a soul level to help you get those real lasting results that you want, right? Not just the temporary and unsatisfying manifestations that come when you manifest from ego. We're talking about true love and real love and lasting, not only like manifestations that you can quantum leap into, but something that can be permanent and easy and ongoing for you. Okay. So if you're into that, the art of soulful seduction, just subscribe, hit that bell, click that like button. And when you click that all button, you're going to get all of my notifications every time that I go live, because I'm going live on this podcast 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. There might be a meditation on Friday. By the way, okay. So somebody asked me this question and I want to address it because I really want you guys to understand all of this fully. So they were asking me about intimate interactions with your person or people, whatever, your intimate interactions. There's certain words that I can't use on YouTube. Okay. So I won't use them, but follow my drift here. And then they were asking about, sort of like the difference between being able to just have fun as a person, in an intimate way versus, they used the word withholding. So when essentially kind of like when to withhold and when to just have fun in an intimate sense with your person. And this goes back to the idea of, how to engage with your person on an action-based level to ensure that they want you, that they're thirsty for you, and that they keep wanting you, and that you're able to give them that breadcrumb trail that leads you both into this mutually satisfying, balanced, harmonious love relationship dynamic that you actually want to cultivate, right? And manifest. So I wanted to address this because first of all, I am trying to teach you guys how to manifest, not manipulate. And so I know that a lot of teachings out there, it sort of tells you how to attract a person on a very surface level, superficial, action-based way. But that way doesn't work, right? So this question about what am I supposed to do action-wise and when can I have fun, intimately, or when can I, behave in a certain way versus when to withhold. This whole question doesn't resonate with me in the way that it was phrased, but I know that you guys have similar questions. It's like, when do I just be myself and go for the fun? And when do I pull back or not? And I get a lot of questions like this. And it's really, really important to understand this interaction in more than just an action-based way, because you manifest in accordance with what you believe and your energy and your vibration and your self-concept. Are you acting in a certain way because you love yourself, or are you masking your desires because you're insecure? Are you acting in a way from a lack-based place because you're trying to manipulate a result? You see, when the energy is not actually true and there in the action, you can't fake out the universe, and you're still going to get those lackluster, unsatisfying results. Okay, so we're going to talk more about that here. Watch until the very end because I'm going to give you a very good rundown on this, but I'm going to begin with sort of using myself as an example and how I experience what she's talking about when she uses the word withholding. And I'm going to tell you, because I said that word doesn't resonate with me at all, but I will tell you my perspective on how you can accomplish this sort of following the path of love and getting them to follow the breadcrumb trail into your end with you without actually doing it from like a fake, superficial, withholding way. This is not, this is not a dance of manipulation. This is manifesting is not manipulation. And this is one of the reasons why I make this differentiation between manifesting from ego and manifesting from love or soul. Because because you will find that you can manifest things from ego. You will find that you can manipulate. But the second that you are taking actions with an impure motivation, which means that you're just trying to get something like an outcome, like I just want an outcome. So if I behave this way, then they'll give me that outcome or I'll get that outcome. When it's just that surface level thing, you're probably not going to get what you want. But this is still the way people are thinking. So you have to change your mindset about this. So I don't withhold, and I'm not telling you to withhold, and I'm not telling you to control your actions, and I'm not teaching you to be fake. If you don't actually learn the energetics behind it and embody the energetics behind it, and if you don't change your self-concept, and if you don't actually love yourself, and if you don't actually connect with your own presence and be aware of your worth and know your value, right? Because you love yourself, because you're knowing yourself and not allowing the illusory reflections dictate what you know and love about yourself, right? The more that you crave your own presence and stay with yourself, because you realize that that's your connection and what you're desiring, the more that you crave you, the more that they're going to crave you. When you abandon yourself, nobody's home. And that's what you feel like to another. And that's what you attract from the other is like nobody's home. And that's why the wires don't cross. And I know it's like, why aren't the wires crossing, right? I love you, you love me. Why can't we make this work? Why can't we connect? You can't not want to be with yourself and expect that you're going to attract another person to want to be with you when you want to be with them more than you want to be with yourself. And so you abandon yourself for them. So the way that I experience this in an intimate fashion, I'll explain it that way first, but it actually translates into all of my interactions now. So I will use the word demisexuality and we'll go from there if you really want to have a very good, deep, profound understanding of this. Okay. So I am what is called a demisexual. That means that I am completely, I do not have any desire for anyone to touch me in any way, unless if I have a meaningful connection with them. To me, that means that I can feel when the energy is right and when the energy is wrong. And if I abandon myself because I'm like judging myself in the wrong way, I'm not trusting my own guidance, trusting my own feeling, right? If I abandon myself and I don't listen to myself, I'll end up doing something that I don't actually want to do. And that's not good. That doesn't make me feel better, right? It's like I've abandoned myself because I was ignoring myself because I thought, oh, that feeling that you felt, that's not important. So we do this all the time. And then other people reflect back to us that, oh, your feeling's not important. Your thoughts are not important. In fact, you're not even important. And it's because we're ignoring ourselves. We don't realize that connection. So I've experienced many, many quantum leaps, and I've gotten really, 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 really very much more sensitive, which for most people feels like very problematic because you don't know what to do with the negative things that you feel. Those things are just like direction, right? It's like, oh, not that way. That's off the path, right? I've talked earlier in my podcast about being on the path, off the path, and I've explained the red light and the green light, and that the negativity that you feel is just like showing you like what is the way, I'm going to use the example of demisexuality. So for me with demisexuality, I can feel and sense very, very, very strongly, do I want someone to touch me or not? And part of my own self-love journey has been learning how to address that. The no has to be there, and it doesn't have to be a mean no. And then there's also when you're sensitive to what you're actually feeling, which this is how you manifest another relationship, a relationship with another person, is by feeling your own vibrational, like where you are vibrationally, honoring that and maneuvering that guided vibrational feeling experience, right? So like you are literally going to tell yourself, stop. That's a no, right? And that can be an interaction, in a distance, in a word, in any decision, right? That's guidance. So when you allow yourself, when you honor yourself more and you allow yourself to become more and more and more sensitive, you're not going to have that argument within yourself, that confliction within yourself of like, oh, is this like the right thing or the wrong thing? You're going to know, because it's going to be so painful to even be off a little bit. Think about, this is how it works with manifesting. So like the more attuned that you are to the flow of the right and wrong energy for you, it's not right or wrong as in the sense that someone else is judging it. It's right or wrong in the sense of how aligned are you with yourself, and are you listening to that? Are you following your joy? Right? Following your joy is one of the most cliche things throughout history, right? But but that's because it's one of the most important things that we routinely and profoundly overlook. That's the path, that's your guidance, but it's a vibrational flow. And that's another language that we have to learn and be sensitive to more than what we see, right? We have to be able to know that circumstances don't matter and that this guidance is what matters. So you want to be sensitive to that. So when I'm interacting with a person, I can feel in all of the interactions, not only when it comes to touching, I can feel like from the beginning of the interaction, I have taught myself by becoming more aware, more present, more sensitive, and by honoring and loving myself more. The more that I do those things, and these are all things that I teach you step by step how to do in the Manifesting University. That's tier 1. So like these are the fundamental, like non-negotiable basics that you have to learn in order to know how to manifest these things on a faster, greater, quantum leap, easy level, right? But when I meet someone, I'll know if there's, okay, before I meet someone, when I see someone, I will feel if that person is relevant or not. I will feel if I need to go in that direction or not. Or I will feel if that direction is going to happen, but I don't need to do anything I don't have to do anything to make that interaction happen, right? I'll know if that person's going to come to me. I will feel the significance or the relevance of that person. When I meet the person, start talking to them, it continues. It's like, this is right, this is not, or this part is right, this part is not. So for instance, talk to me, but I'm not going to let you touch me. I don't have to say this. I know this for myself. Like, you know which breadcrumb trail to follow on your path of joy each step along the way. And so there's no withholding, because my mind is not in the place of how do I manipulate you to like me a lot? How do I manipulate you to keep you thirsty and keep you wanting more? That is not the intention. That is not, when I write all of my titles and put this stuff up on YouTube, I am not speaking about how to manipulate people into doing what you want them to do. I am telling you that if you are loving yourself and connected with yourself and present with yourself and aware beyond the ego, right? Aware on a soul level, so that you're aware of all of the truth that is happening, not distracted by what the ego says and wants. I want an ice cream cone and I want shiny things and I want glitter and that's all I'm thinking about. No. So there's no withholding when you are aligned and attuned with yourself. You won't go in a direction because you're reaching out for something and think that you want something and then find out that you didn't want it because you manifested a thing and it represented something that you didn't want. You think that started when you did the thing. That started before you did the thing. You did the thing because you weren't listening to yourself to begin with, right? You followed a path of lack, not a path of joy. But you can't follow a path of joy if you're completely unconnected with yourself. So does that make more sense? So if I was functioning from a place of, I want to get this person to do what I want them to do, if that was my focus and what was taking up the space in my mind, I would keep getting lack results. And that's what many, many, many of you are experiencing. And all of those people, many, many, many of the people who follow those action-based protocol, they come out empty-handed, whether it's now or later, whether it's now or many years later, right? Some people come out of a relationship 6 years, 10, 20 years later, and they're like, I don't know this person. It's because, you just wanted what you wanted here and you didn't feel here because this would have told you, don't do that. And sometimes the don't do that is very faint and it's not easy you're not sensitive to it, which is why I don't mind being very, very, very sensitive now. I'm able to be much, much, much more sensitive now so that I can keep myself like not just sort of on the path, but like really a lot more on the path. Right? The more sensitive and aware that you are to these energies, the more precise that you can be. The more precise that you are, the more precise your focus is, the more precise, profound, and fast that you can quantum leap into the reality that you want. Once you are very, very, very present and very, very, very aware, one tiny little thing can throw it off. And so when you're very present and very aware, your sensitivity increases because you now have the ability to handle that. And so a little tiny thing will be very painful. That's my experience, right? So like tiny things are much more painful to me now, but it's just an indicator that's not the way. And so this translates to everything vibrational for me. Even music is so like it's a completely different experience for me. It's painful or it's like heaven, it's a different experience, but it's a different level of responsibility when you want to be aware, when you do the work to be aware, when you want to be present and love yourself, when you do the work to be present and love yourself, which these things are not hard. It's just, it doesn't take a long time either. In 2 weeks, you can experience a significant shift with your self-love, with your ability to be present, which your ability to be present and aware increases your intelligence significantly. I don't know if that would show up on like an IQ test. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that when you are more connected, you're more connected to infinite intelligence, and it increases your ability to spot patterns and to learn and to spot details and information and to be in tune with following your joy, what that is, which is guidance, which is intelligence versus not. It makes you much, much more precise manifester and person, more well-rounded person. You can ultimately make more better decisions that are going to help you quantum leap into that reality that you want. And like I said, all these things, the awareness, the presence, the self-love, the being in tune with you, the more that you are those things, the more that the person that you want is going to want to be with you and crave you, because now somebody's home. Now somebody's home. Now you're home and you're here with you, and you wake up in the morning and you like yourself and you're in tune with you all day. And so when other people are interacting with you, they feel that something there is real, and there's a presence and there's gravity in your presence. Presence is your gravity. Your presence with yourself is your gravity. When you're with yourself, you emanate to the universe. I'm worth being with. I'm really worth being with. There's a lot of substance here. There's something really worthy and valuable here. There's something really awesome here. And guess what? The lack leaves. And guess what? Other people come to you and want to be with you in meaningful, good ways that are fulfilling and satisfying to you. You got to learn how to listen to yourself. So you learn how to listen to yourself, and that's how you keep them wanting. That's how you keep them thirsty. That's not a negative egoic intention at all. I do not mean that in an egoic, impure motivated way. No. No, it's natural. It is a natural byproduct of I'm in tune with me. And so I want me and I crave me and I'm thirsty for me. You create your own reality, not by what you want, but by what you are. You manifest not what you want. You manifest what you are. So if I love me and I crave me and I want to be with me and I'm thirsty for me and I stay with me, that is what will be reflected in your person. When it comes to withholding, this word, the reason it doesn't resonate with me is because withholding is an impure motivation. It's not real. It's not true. That's the ego trying to manipulate immediately. So that's your tell of like, oh, should I do this or not? Did you see how I contracted? You contract when you go into impure motivation, when you go into a manipulative space instead of a manifesting space. Manifesting is real, manipulation is not. So we're spending a lot of time in manipulative spaces when you're not aware and present and loving yourself. You can't help having an impure motivation when the ego kicks in and it's about what can I get or what can I manipulate out of the situation because I want something, because I don't have it, because I'm not with myself, right? So you got to flip yourself back into manifesting, which is not an impure motivation. It's a knowing. It's God's state. That's what it means to live from your end. That's what it means to not abandon yourself. So the fake way of going about it, you will think in terms of what do I withhold and what do I do in an action-based way and what do I not do in an action-based way. You're trying to control yourself artificially and superficially to the end of, with the motivation of hopefully controlling them. Not healthy, guys. Not healthy. That's not what we ultimately want. That's not what we learn in manifesting. That is not what I teach. I'm teaching you more. I'm teaching you how to do it for real, not for fake. So I don't have to withhold, but do I withhold? Yes. What does that mean? That means that I do whatever I feel when I feel I'm in my end, and I don't allow myself to be misguided. I don't allow myself to be confused about the guidance that I'm actually receiving from myself, with myself, from the universe, with the universe. I'm in tune with me, sensitive enough to myself. You want your person to be sensitive to your feelings, care about what you say, honor what you say. You want your person to be able to know what's going on with you without you having to say a word. That will be reflected in them when you do that to yourself. So I do that to me. I don't need a really good reason to know that something is a no. And I also have managed to come into this balanced place where I don't have to say no in a mean way. Most of the time, I never have to say no. To have to actually say no is to correct a wrong, like a misstep vibrationally. So if I am very attuned and sensitive to my own feeling, vibration, guidance, energy, all of that, right? If I'm very in tune to that, my guidance is not going to put me in a position where I have to say no. Think about it. The flow of manifesting, the breadcrumb trail, the bridge of events is energetic, and there is momentum. So if I come to a place where I have to do something corrective to get myself out of a thing, it means I didn't listen to myself somewhere along the way. So if I listen to myself earlier because I'm more sensitive and I'm listening to myself better, I'm listening to myself more, I'm more connected to myself, I will not misstep. Before an action, a like wrong or negative or opposite result action takes place, there had to be like a vibration that was coming from a lack space before the action took place, right? So it's a thought and then a feeling and then an action is the furthering of that misstep momentum. I don't have to say no. My guidance doesn't take me in a place where I would have to correct. So the same will also be true for you. When you learn to love yourself and be present with yourself and be very aware and sensitive to your own feelings, guidance, wants, needs, true desires, not letting the ego uh distract you. Oh, shiny. Oh, shiny thing syndrome, right? Not letting the ego distract you into a misstep. So I don't really misstep. And then when you don't listen to yourself, then you're going to end up misstepping, and then you feel like you have to be you'll get freaked out because you're in a place you don't want to be, and then you'll feel like you have to overcorrect, and so that you'll like strike or be mean, right? And then later you'll be like, why was I such a bitch? Like, is there a different way to do that? Yeah, there is. I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to be mean to make a correction. I can make a correction in a loving way. I can set a boundary in a loving way with a person. But even better now, like I said, that doesn't even come up. So you want someone to crave you, want you, to want more with you, to follow that breadcrumb trail, follow the bridge of events into your satisfying, loving, fulfilling end with you, where you both want to be there at the same time and you're meeting each other at the same time. I can tell you how to save yourself an awful lot of time and trouble. I can tell you what, it's really, 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 really hard and impossible and difficult. You're going to end up trying way, way, way hard with opposite results. You're going to bang your head against the wall. You're going to find yourself in hell. You're going to want to give up. You're going to think it's not possible. If you don't know that this journey is really about learning how to love yourself, that's self-concept. All of you guys know that word, right? Self-concept. Very important. Non-negotiable. Can't leave it out. Gotta love yourself, which means, what's it mean when someone else loves you? Right? Because we all know what it is to love in the world. We don't know what it is to love ourselves. As soon as you say self-love, people's like, I don't know what you're talking about anymore. Right. Okay. So let's illustrate that. What does that mean? So what does it mean when someone else loves you? It means they're aware of you. There's that word awareness that I just said, right? Self-awareness. They're aware of you. They're in tune with you. They're paying attention to you. They're present with you. What does present mean? It means all of their focus is here with you. What does that mean? What happens then? How do you know when that happens? They know how you really feel, no matter how you're acting, no matter what you say. They know how you really feel, and they address that. They speak to that. You say, no, I'm fine. They say, no, you're not. No. What's wrong, babe? What's going on? Tell me. I'm here. How were they able to do that? They're there with you, present with you. They're aware of you. They care about you. All their focus is on you. That's how you love yourself. Like I said, you can make this so much faster and easier for you. The faster that you're willing to really dive into this and do it for yourself and learn this and invest in this endeavor for yourself, the faster you're going to end up on the other side. Like I said, 2 weeks, you can experience a significant shift. This is about loving yourself. I've been at manifesting 17 years. It's not been easy, guys. Do you know how many times I've wanted to quit? Do you know how many times I've really wanted to quit? More than you think. Because it's hard until you figure out that it's about figuring out how to love yourself, what that really is. It's hard until you figure out that that's important. It's hard until you make that important. But once you do that, once you make you important instead of abandoning yourself for them and saying that they're the only important thing and abandoning yourself by only wanting them, overlooking yourself completely. Me, no, just them. They're important. The more that you figure out that they won't love you because you're not loving you, and that's a vibrational impossibility for you to manifest them if you don't fucking love yourself. The faster that you become willing to do to you what you want them to do to you. Be thirsty for you. Be aware of you. Be present with you. Crave you. Love you. Stay with you. Keep wanting yourself because that's what you're truly after. That's when it changes fast, guys. That's what this is all about. I said at some point recently, within the last few weeks, I said that I wrote it in a post. So if you want to see my post, just check out the community on YouTube. I post there all the time. And I said, all of the behavior that your SP has done has been in service to you, in service, like in love for you, to help you learn something and teach you something. It's a service to you. We're all souls. We're not people. We're people having fun, right? We think we're having fun, but this is a soul-based mission, a soul-based journey. That's why it's all vibrational. We are not ever without that truth. That is consistent, unchanging. Nothing you can do about it. So I said, your person, no matter how they've acted, the worse they've acted, the more that they've been serving you. It is a loving thing that they have done for you. Because through them, you're going to learn how important it is for you to love you. And that's how you're going to manifest everything that you want. The full, complete package with your person. The complete love that you've never known before. Because you've never loved yourself as much as you're going to learn to love yourself on this journey that they've inspired you to. Because they agreed to help you learn how to love yourself in this life. All right. So anyways, if you're still watching, that means you like the video. Click the like button, subscribe, hit that bell, click all so that you get all my notifications every time that I'm going live. And if you guys want to work more closely with me, I get questions about that all day, every day. If you want to work more closely with me, I am going live every single Sunday for twice in my Manifesting University, where I go deeper into, letting you guys ask Q&A. I let you guys ask me questions. I answer your questions. I give you homework practices and lessons every single week. This month of May, I'm covering the art of soulful seduction. And in the Manifesting University, it's called Ego to Love, because I'm going to teach you how to basically, like, your ego tells you, it directs you in a lot of ways, right? So you want a cookie, right? Want a cookie syndrome. I want this thing. I want love. I want them. I'm going to teach you how to take those ego-based desires and bring them home on a soul level that you can actually have in a more meaningful way. I'm going to take you from ego to love. So if you're interested in that and you want to show up live in the Manifesting University and get started on your path of loving yourself, I'll have those links in the description below. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another live.